is Tuesday night, and Tuesday night is the happy hour, and the happy hour for the tile and stone industry is starting right now. I hope you're out there enjoying this lovely June evening, and you have questions and you want to know things about the tile and stone industry, and I've got my buddy John here who can help us answer those things. John, I got my drink cam going. Cheers, sir.
Cheers to you. Let me get my glass here. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah. I got the bar cam. I love it. I love it. We got a little shout out here on the comments. Dan Shelton says, let's get this party started. Dan, you're right. We're going to get this party started. We're going to talk all kinds of tile stuff today. John, I hope you've had a good week. It's only Tuesday, so it's just the second day of the week, but yet, is it going well so far?
It's going really well today. The New York City staff surprised me today, which was pretty fun. My birthday was over the weekend, and I came in today, and half the staff was dressed like John the Disco.
That's great. I saw a picture. Was that the picture of the staff and your twinsies? Y'all are twinsing?
Yeah, so I said, what do you mean? They said, you notice we all have white shirts on, sports coat and jeans. And I was like, and today was the day, one of the rare days I didn't come in with that. I came in with jeans and a sport coat, but I'm usually in a white, often in a white shirt, and but it was really fun.
Well, awesome. Did you do anything exciting? I knew it was your birthday over the weekend. Your gift is in the mail.
Thank you.
I think something happened on I-95 between my house and your house. It's probably stuck in that mess. But did you have a good weekend? Did it? Yeah,
I had a great weekend. Yeah, sun, got a lot of sun, got a lot of beach. It was good. It was nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Rick says, so funny, which I think he's talking about how you dress. I think that is exactly right, Rick.
I think Rick's going to use your I-95 excuse on his next late delivery.
Absolutely. My lovely wife says, happy belated birthday, John.
Oh, thank you very much.
John, I hope you had a great time.
I did.
But most of all, I hope this show is going to go well because you're going to participate. You're going to be a part of it. And that means those people that are looking at me right now, because this is where we talk anything and everything tile. I know my wife is bored. She only watches it because she tries to tell me the things that I can do better because she's an encourager. Thank you for that. But I want to talk to you about tile. I want you to chime in. I can get your comments live. John and I can talk about it. We can answer those most crazy questions. And John, even if you're not watching live, this is still valuable, right?
This is true. Not only is it an opportunity to ask a question or pose an idea live, we also welcome any comments after the show has been broadcast. It's on a whole bunch of social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And so if you're watching live, great. We'd really like to know where you're watching from. That would be really cool. So if you're out there, chime in, let us know what city, state, or if not, if you want to be secretive, what room you're in. And and we won't tell the IRS where you're at.
Absolutely not.
Nonetheless, if you are watching this after the fact, because our content is what we call evergreen. And so if you're watching this 8 years later, you want to chime in, we're not on a beach relaxing, we'll get back to you. And we'd love, you know what? We had some really cool guests, and we had a great guest last week. And if someone in the industry has a suggestion, we do have a bunch of people who reached out to us who are coming on the show in future episodes. But if you're an interesting person, or if you know somebody that's in the industry, or if you want to learn about something, let us know and we'll reach out and love to bring them to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you said, John, it is evergreen content. We're always talking about something in the tile industry, and the tile industry changes a lot. There's a lot of innovation, but yet most of the things are still relevant. And I am a sucker, whether I'm on the beach or not. If I see there's a comment there, I feel like I have to answer it.
That's it.
So I'll take care of the questions.
That's the tile nerd in you.
Beach. That is the
Yeah.
tile nerd in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, last week was very cool, very amazing. If you didn't see the episode last week, don't stop right now. Keep watching, but click back and watch the episode with Ron Nash. What a great interview we had with him. What a great individual. I've known Ron for a while, but to actually sit down and talk to him about obviously about Laticrete and the tile industry and how, I mean, in my opinion, they're some of the best innovators in the industry. But there's a couple of things that'll be dropping this week. So if you're not subscribed or whatever, there's some clips that he dropped some knowledge on us, John, about just life in general and planning and being a good manager.
You know, it was really inspirational to listen to Ron. He's really down to earth. We all have a lot of respect for him because of his, his ability to guide this company forward, respect the past of the company and have a great vision for the company. So he's the perfect person. I just met him on the show, and thanks for bringing him on. I think that was a great chat with him. And I was planning on talking to him about some grout, things like that. And we were talking some high level business things. We were talking about a lot. What was really interesting was the digital printing. So we all know digital printing, cool. Right? What do you think of that?
That to me, that's amazing. And we talked a little bit about well, actually we spent a good bit of time on the 3D printing of homes and buildings, which is so crazy and so, Star Trek, 2020 or 2020, how it is 2020.
2023.
I aged myself. I can't even talk.
I see.
And I haven't even drank any of the whiskey yet. No, I didn't start the happy hour. I promise. But I mean, it was so 25th century. I don't know, but you order a house, and the story he told, you have to go back and watch it, was about this prince that wants to 3D print the biggest residential home in the world, and luckily, Laticrete gets to be a part of that. I haven't been invited yet. Have you, John? Have you got your open house invitation?
I have not. But what's really cool is, 3D printing is, I guess it's the best word they could come up with. But it's really, there's got to be another word because people think of a printer as something that's stationary, right? And spits out a piece of paper. This is kind of a head delivering cement, and Laticrete was looking at their product as the ink. So look at their very highly specialized, highly formalized and proprietary cementitious mixture of material that shoots through these tubes and layers, say on the base of the ground, and they slowly build these layers.
That's nuts.
And they can really build an entire house with this Laticrete system. And what was really interesting, which was a whole nother dynamic, what did he say? What was the look of the it's like ribbons, beads of cement. He called it something. I forget what it was, the look of it. And
he kept calling it look like a corduroy pants. Yeah.
Right.
And that's just, it's kind of like when you're decorating a cake, you use your piping things to squeeze it.
Right.
And
good analogy.
And but it's really cool. If you missed that, go back and watch it. And I linked in the comments. The pinned comment is the link to the 3D video from Laticrete, and you can watch it. Video. It is really cool. And if you're watching offline, I don't know. I don't know if Daniel's just being crazy. Is my hair weird today? He said I needed a comb.
It looks great.
I mean, I think he's just harassing me tonight, which is fine. This is your show. But John, we got past the Laticrete interview, which was a big one. I know we've got some people that we've got penciled in that are coming, and you skimmed over it before, but I want to say it again. If you're an industry professional and you want to talk about your product or talk about the tile industry, look us up, give us a call. We'd love to have you. Tuesday nights, 8:00. We do this every Tuesday night, even when we don't want to. But as soon as the show starts, it gets exciting, and I get excited about talking about the things we're going to talk about tonight.
That's cool. How was your weekend, by the way?
It was good. I know. I think I told you my mom had some damage at the house, so
yes,
I have been over there off hours during the weekends. In the evenings, trying to help her get her deck rebuilt, so we can get that off our plate. But I'm actually, I had to speed through some stuff today. I got my son and my nephew working on some things, so who knows what's going to happen when I get back. But I'm actually leaving. I'm going to Dukes of Hazzard over that bridge in Pennsylvania, and I'll be in your neck of the woods Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, looking forward for you to come up. You're going to Jersey, then going to New York, I believe, right?
Yep, going to Jersey. I'm going to see our amazing sample team that, man, they turn out so many samples that leave New Jersey and go all over the United States. And
do you know the number of samples we send out a day at Tile Bar?
I don't. I know it's ridiculous. I've heard the number and I thought that can't be right, but it's ridiculous. What's the number?
I've heard 1,400 sample orders
a day,
and each order can have one to, dozens of pieces,
several
right?
Samples.
Yeah, so
it's
crazy, pretty amazing.
So I'm going to go see that team tomorrow. I'm actually flying into Philadelphia. Like I said, Dukes of Hazzard over the I-95. And I'm going to spend time with them. But then I've got an exciting time in Inwood. I'm doing training on two different topics. And Blanque, if you've never heard of Blanque, we're bringing on Blanque as a vendor and kind of to help us out with some of our trim and things online. So the vice president of Blanque is going to be in Inwood with me this week. Just kind of introduce Blanque to the team, introduce, some of our team don't know that much about tile trim. So we're going to go over some trim and just do some training while we're there. That's on Thursday. On Friday, and this is crazy, I don't know that this has been launched yet or even spoken about, so I may get in trouble. But on Friday, we're introducing our shower door systems. Have we talked about that live?
We haven't talked about it. It's live on our website, so it's public information. And
I want to just save that comment, Rick Crane, and I'm going to pull it up every time I say something that sounds interesting.
Rick's not even on. You just have that sitting.
I just have that. That's saved from like 4 weeks ago. But yeah. That's going to be my Thursday and Friday. And, luckily my wife is out of school, so she's actually going to tag along with me. And then we're going to, after I finish working on Friday, we're going to go spend the weekend in Philadelphia. I have no idea what we're going to do, but maybe rebuild that bridge, I guess. I don't know.
All right. We'll get some cheesesteak and some pizza and you'll be good. You know what? I was amazed when I learned that Tile Bar is bringing on shower doors, and I was like a little really? But looking at the website and looking at the product, and knowing the program and the shipping method and all the logistics that have been worked out and the pricing that I see, it's amazing. And no one's ever done anything like this before. And I have to tell you, everything that we do it really well. There's always a learning curve. There's always bugs. There's always ways of doing things better, but I know that our team has been working on that for many months, if not years, and it's finally launched. And so you're going to be talking to whom about what when shower doors? What's the goal?
Well, actually, Chris, I don't know if you've met Chris yet. Chris is kind of over the shower door system onboarding process. I don't know if that's the exact terms,
right?
But Chris is from Jacuzzi. That's where he used to work. So he's coming in, and so I'm just kind of talking him through the training process. He's going to do the majority of it because I don't know anything about shower doors for the most part. he's doing the main part of the training. I'm putting it together, and it is for our entire inside staff, customer service, and the showroom. You should have gotten the invitation. If you didn't, let me know.
No, I did. It's on my calendar. I think it's 9 a.m. on Friday or something.
Yeah. 9 a.m. on Friday is Blanque, and
Blanque.
then 11 a.m.
1 o'clock or 11.
Yeah, one or the other. They're both the same. So,
Got it.
So if you're out there and I guess you want to tune in, I know that's probably not very interesting for anybody else out there. But yes, if you're interested in buying your entire bathroom, you can do that on tilebar.com. We have vanities, we have showers, we have waterproofing, and shower doors.
I was just going to say, outside of tile, what categories are we in right now?
All of those. I think the only thing that's in the bathroom that we don't have currently are plumbing fixtures.
Right, like faucets and things like that.
Faucets and stuff. But I will say, and if anybody's watching and loves shoppingtilebar.com, there are more things coming all the time. And I'll just tease you right now. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a complete shower system that you can purchase as a package. So
is that like a Latacrete system?
Yeah, Latacrete system that would include, if you wanted to, a heated floor, which everybody needs a heated floor in your bathroom.
Love it.
And then all of the parts to build out a waterproof shower for your shower. And
does anybody just take like mud and build like a shower anymore? Or is that just old school?
People do that, yes.
Yeah.
And if you have that skill, that is the critical part. If you do not have that skill, you're going to fail.
Right.
Because doing it that way is very skilled. And those who do it that way save a lot of money, because I will say those prefab shower systems, the kits, the foam board, all that stuff, as well as they work, they're kind of idiot proof. You and I, in a case of beer, we could probably do it and it work. But if you're trying to do it the old way with the mud and, dry pack and tying everything together, that is very difficult. And, but it is still done. It's still done in different parts of the country. Have more of that skilled labor.
I'm looking forward to learning about it, because if you just what if you have a new room, like a brand new room, and you're buying, and where the plumbing, you have the drain already set, where it's at, and you just want to create a shower. Are you just starting with this Latacrete system and putting foam on top of it? Like, how do you frame it out? How does that work?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's probably a myriad of different ways to do it. The way I'm actually getting ready to redo my master bath. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a 0 entry shower. So what that means is my existing floor has to drop down in the shower so that it drains. And so there's parts and pieces that you actually cut out your floor, and it all drops in there. And then you put the foam pieces on top of it. You put your heating on top of that. Then you tile it, and then you hopefully.
Wait, are you saying like the floor area in front of your vanity is going to be higher than the floor area in the shower floor?
Correct. Yeah.
And it's all going to be technically one floor.
Correct.
And what is the substrate? It's some sort of board or foam of some sort?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways to do it. There's a company that I've been courting for a while called Rapid Recess. And what they have is they have a system that you cut out your floor, and they have brackets that you can install the floor back, but it actually goes underneath your floor joists so that you get that extra extra inch or so of drop so that the water drains. And that's one of the things we're looking at bringing on to accompany our Latacrete showers. And then, you put in a shower door.
And you're thin setting right on top of that board?
Yeah, thin setting right on top of the foam board. Yep.
And do the boards need to be like taped together?
Yes. If it depends on which board you use. If you use Latacrete's board, they have a sealant that goes between the boards, which waterproofs it in the shower. Outside of the shower, that's not necessarily a big deal. But inside the shower actually is a full kit. There's, you only cut the edges, and then the walls come down and sit on top of it. And there's a sealant that goes between the wall and the floor that makes it waterproof.
Oh, so you're saying the system for the shower floor, say you have a 30-inch square or whatever shower base, it ties into the same, there's a system that ties into the wall. Does that go up to the ceiling? Like, is it part of, instead of like a cement board or something like that?
Yep, instead of cement board. Absolutely. Actually, that tile behind me is actually on part of that shower system. I use that a lot as samples in the office because the boards are so light because they're foam boards, but they're waterproof on one side, so I can move that stuff around.
So those of you out there that have been in the industry a while, you probably know about like Wonder Board, which is probably 3 foot by 5 foot piece of cement board with kind of netting between it. 15 square feet. It's probably
700 pounds.
It's probably 4 pounds a square foot, probably.
It's
talking
not,
like 50, 60 pounds for one board.
Yeah, it's not light, but yeah, the new foam boards, I mean, really, I wouldn't do it any other way.
That's
you
amazing.
Shim your walls, you get your walls flat and plumb and square to each other, and then go to town with that board. It's not cheap, but it's, like I said, work within your margin, spend the extra money and do it right. And this will save you a lot of time and frustration and saw blades and razor knife blades. Cause man, cutting Wonder Board and permabase and all that stuff is
not fun. Yeah,
well,
I'm looking forward to hearing about that. Hey, you said you go into the warehouse tomorrow, right?
Yep.
So today you have to relay this information. I hope they know about this, but today is National Forklift Awareness Month, a day.
Well, I wonder if they did know it. I bet somebody probably bought them lunch today in honor of National Warehouse Forklift Day.
I think I missed something. National Forklift Safety Awareness Day.
Oh, not just if you own a forklift, but you got to be safe with it too.
Yeah, it's an OSHA kind of. OSHA said since 2011, forklift injuries have increased. Why do you think that's the case?
I don't know. Maybe because more people are working in the warehouse unskilled. I don't know.
Yeah.
You would think, because I think in every other area, most things decrease.
Right, like auto accidents, right? Well, I guess there's no airbags on. That's it. We need to invent the airbag on forklifts.
Airbags. Gotcha.
I think yes. I don't know the answer of that, but hopefully our guys in the warehouse are staying safe. Our guys and gals. We have a great team there. A few hundred people working on, and I know they have training. When people are working in the warehouse, there's different levels of kind of training, and you have to kind of graduate into the forklift to be a forklift or a lift operator, because you're lifting up
thousands and thousands of pounds,
2,200 pounds on a fork that can go up pretty high with people walking nearby. So
well, speaking of danger, I've got something for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My Friday fail, and this is a sneak peek. This is actually this week's Friday fail.
Oh, all right. Don't tell anybody.
Yes, don't tell anybody.
So wait, hold on. So let me tell people. So every week, Craig, things find Craig.
That's right.
So he's out and about doing his thing, getting gasoline, going out to dinner, at the supermarket, wherever. And these, what we call, or he calls, fails in the tile world, where it has to do with grout, it has to do with installation, it has to do with thin set, and it just screams at him. And let's check it out.
Professional grout removal.
Okay, I think you can see all the grout that's just stuck on this thing. So I got my safety glasses on, and I have my mask on for breathing.
No scratches guaranteed. If there's scratches when we're done, they were there before we started, but hidden by the grout. Call today for our summer discount. We'll do this wall and any other wall. We'll also do your floors. Don't forget to ask us about our pet sitting services and tire changing capabilities. I mean, it sounds logical to me.
Wow, that was a great hack. How to mess up your installation even more because, I reached back to get my drink and I missed the big first 2 seconds. Was this guy like proud, like, hey, here's how to do things?
I think I found that video. I forget how I found that video, but I think he was honestly going, I figured this stuff out. I don't need to clean the tile at all. Just grout it, and then I'm going to use my drill with a brush. Now, it was a plastic bristled brush, but still not suggested as a grout cleaning capability.
So there's two of the ways of accomplishing a good job. One is wipe all the grout off before it dries.
Install it correctly, yes.
Or the other is...
I always tell the people, follow the directions. They're written on the bag for a reason. Follow the directions and the timing of those. And that's where a lot of people mistake. You've got some of these, I've been doing it 25 years. Well, the products have changed. The sanded grout that they used 25 years ago, I mean, you could still wipe it down 15, 20, 30 minutes later and get it right. But these new grouts, some of them kick off really fast and they are uber hard. And so read the directions.
But they're easy to clean and it's not, it's an advancement in product, but at the end, some of the features of it is that you have to clean it off relatively quick. But when it's wet, it's easy to clean. It's just guys aren't paying attention to the instructions. I remember once I had a tile guy do a job with an epoxy, a 2-part epoxy, A liquid, a B liquid, and a powder.
Yep.
And he was doing steps in a residential house on plywood. And literally, the guy was old school, never saw anything like that system before. And he just whipped it around, had no clue. It was a disaster because that stuff is brutal. Because that epoxy dries like steel. You can't get it off if you get it on your hands, you might as well just amputate your finger.
It's jackhammer time.
But if you mess it up, it's really not good.
Right. But if you install it correctly and you follow the directions, it'll last as long as you want it to. So that was that. And hey, speaking of being safe, he had his safety glasses on.
Good for him.
He had his mask on for breathing. He didn't say he didn't say for dust protection. He said for breathing. So maybe he had a full respirator on. I'm not sure. He never showed his face, but I'm sure he got that tile clean, and I guarantee you, it had a lot of swirly scratches in it.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, speaking of breathing, did you guys get impacted with the smoke from Canada?
Yeah, a little bit. This weekend while we're out working, I start my day most of the time with the news from New York, and they're talking about how bad it was, and they say, well, it's clearing up today. And I walk outside and I'm like, yeah, it's clearing up. It all came down here. So yeah, it was, I think it was Saturday. It was, you could tell something's in the air. It wasn't, terrible, but it smelled like you were driving next to somebody burning the field.
Yeah, well, New York, Wednesday, Thursday was really bad, particularly Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, the air quality, AQI, air quality index. Mm-hmm. If safe is considered, or healthy, or no issues is I think 10 or something on a scale, and it was 300.
Wow.
And 100 is considered the work. If somebody who has asthma wakes up in the morning and they see 50, they're worried. This was it was like Mars.
Wow.
It was, the skies were orange/gray. It was dreary as anything, and it was really scary. And you could smell burning inside the homes. And there are some pictures of showing the Verrazano Bridge or Statue of Liberty.
I saw a couple of those, and it looked like fog in San Francisco.
It was crazy. But what's really crazy is, as bad as it was, and it did clear up. I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were good. Particularly Sunday was really good. But that smoke is still out there. It's getting worse. It's just going to different parts of the country, right? Because they had 400 fires burning.
It's great. Who said on? I'm not blaming them for setting fire to Canada, but
I think there was some guy with like a Makita sanding his grout.
Probably. We got a note. Dan says Mr. Magic Clean bath shower works really well. Leftover grout dried quickly off the top. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Magic
Eraser Dan
is
likes that is because he doesn't have any hair like Mr. Clean.
There you go.
So, I know today we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between Nanoglass and white Thassos, but I also have in my Rolodex here a file from you about a product highlight. You want to do that first? You want to do a
sure.
Q&A
let's go for
first, or what? Okay.
No, just hit it.
Hey, it's John Tedesco. Guess what? It's Friday and it's happy hour all day today at Tile Bar. This is a really nice line, luxury vinyl tile, and I say that for good reason. This tile is gorgeous. We actually have a porcelain that's called ristretto, and it comes in 12 by 24, 24 by 24, and it's a really great product. So we decided to make the same product in LVT, a luxury vinyl tile. LVT comes in a 12 by 12 format, which is what you see here. And what's really cool is that it looks like it's very textured where it would get dirty, but it's actually pretty smooth to the touch, but it looks dimensional. That's why it's good for any spaces, residential and commercial. It comes in two constructions. It comes in a commercial glue down, and it comes in a solid core clip. So depending on your application, check with your tile expert, which is best for your application. It's a nice product. So this is John Tedesco. I'd like to wish you a happy hour.
So John, tell me, did I hear you right? Is that look in a LVT and a tile?
Yeah, so that's where Tile Bar is really breaking new ground. First place, that Friday happy hour product presentation is this Friday's that I didn't post last Friday because I was away on my birthday and decided
secrets everywhere.
Skip a day. Yeah, exactly. So that's a sneak peek for this Friday. So there are people in the LVT luxury vinyl tile, LVP luxury vinyl product, luxury vinyl flooring industry. That's all they do is they sell vinyl. Right. And it may not be as high design as Tile Bar is, and we design a lot of our own tile. So what we've done is, I think, groundbreaking. We have products where we have really good commercial porcelain tiles that are selling well, that are being specified for offices, hospitality, and we decided to replicate those exact products and exact colors in an LVT product. And there's two benefits to that. One is I call on architects and designers and I help them find the right product at the right price, on time and in budget for their product, for their project. So let's say we're doing an office building and they want to put porcelain tile down. And then once they pick that blue porcelain tile, let's say, then they design the rest of the building or the rest of the you know facilities around that color, because the floor is really important. Yeah. Let's say the budget gets killed down the road and now they don't have the budget for porcelain in that space. They don't have to worry. The design firm doesn't have to worry. They could say, well, don't worry. We have the same product in LVT. We'd rather you have porcelain for many good reasons. But if you really have to do LVT, then you could just switch over. Now, there's another thing. Similar scenario, but it's deliberate ahead of time. Hey, we're going to put porcelain in the heavy trafficked areas, and in the less traffic areas, let's use LVT. I mean, LVT is durable. There's commercial wear layers and all that stuff. LVT is very durable, performs really well, but porcelain is, indestructible, literally. So those are the two reasons that we have that are the benefits of using this product. And that was Ristretto. So what you were looking at there was LVT. It looked exactly like the porcelain tile.
And to your knowledge, there's no other distributor out there that does that.
No,
I've not heard of any.
Because it involves designing a whole new LVT line around the tile, around the porcelain line, and the people in the LVT business aren't in the porcelain business. So we are in the tile business and the porcelain business. So, and we know what we know what specifiers want. So out of the 5,000-6,000 products that Tile Bar offers, there's a handful that we've identified through our A&D architectural and design team.
Yeah.
What is popular, what's being used in all these type of applications, and we've decided to also create LVT for it. So when you're walking into a firm talking to them about a style, we can actually offer them two completely different products, constructions, but the same aesthetic. Really cool.
That's cool. Well, that's cool. Well, now that I'm going to segue, see how this goes. We talked about the LVT and the porcelain having similar looks. I think our topic of today, the Nanoglass and the Thassos, are kind of paralleling that, correct?
Absolutely. So most people in the industry know about white Thassos. White Thassos is a marble that only comes from one place in the world. It's from the island of Thassos, Greece, and it's beautiful. It's amazing that it's natural marble, and it's virtually pure white. And the more pure white it is, the more of a select it's considered, and the more costly it is. So, Thassos 12-inch square could be $30, $40, $20, $30, $40 a square foot. And this is a line of marble that's just iconic. Everyone loves white Thassos. Is this the video for it?
Yeah, you want to take a look at that?
Yeah, let's check that out.
Okay, I have to hit play on the other screen though. Very dramatic.
Cool sizes.
Yeah, they are cool sizes. I've always been a bigger fan of statuary or Venantino. I've never really liked Thassos.
Well, you know what? The reason is it's so pure white. What makes it unique is why some people love it and why some people don't like it. It's because it's so white that you don't see veining. It doesn't scream marble necessarily.
Yeah. To me, it looks, in my opinion, it looks like a cheap, kind of like a cheap glass.
Well, when you see it in person, Thassos is gorgeous in person, and it has some depth to it. It has a really nice polish, and people love Thassos. And in person, it doesn't look cheap at all. What if to the novice eye, you walk into a bathroom that's pure white, it's beautiful, and if it's Thassos marble, you just get this sense of luxury. You really do get that sense. But they may not get the sense that it was super expensive because it's pure white.
Right.
So there are downsides to Thassos. One is the cost. It's marble, so marble costs more to buy.
Yeah.
It's more because Thassos specifically is expensive, because if you have a beautiful piece of white Thassos marble and there's like a little yellow speck, it's almost like, oh my God, I can't use that. So here we are asking nature for perfection, and the mountains have perfections, but us humans sort them. So you have white Thassos that goes from commercial grade to like super select, all the way up to super select, and you pay for that. And as a matter of fact, if Craig Cahoon wants to go to Thassos and say, hey, I want to buy a container of super select Thassos, the very nice people in Greece are going to say, you cannot buy a container of Thassos. You have to also buy a certain percentage of this grade and that grade, and you have you got to like earn your way to be able to get a container of pure Thassos. So and there are a lot of people in the industry that are of Greek heritage, because you really do need connections to get good.
I get a lot of questions about marble in showers. Now, stone has been put anywhere in the world for thousands of years. So that I know that technically there's nothing wrong with it. But often the water causes a chemical reaction in some stones. And most of the time it's more noticeable in your white stones, which just makes sense just because of the color difference. And normally I know that's normally there's imperfections in the different grades of the marble you get. But I've been seeing a lot lately that it seems like even some really high graded marbles are still having some iron deposits and getting some of that staining.
Right.
Do you notice anything like that where you are?
Well, yes. I mean, every municipality's water is different, but if you have, iron or chemicals or, sediments in the water, you could leave like a little bit of a residue on marble. Now, if you had a beige, marble, chromophil or white Carrara that has veins in it, it may be there, it may be noticeable if you don't seal it properly or if you don't routinely clean it properly. But just think about you're, wearing a camouflage t-shirt versus wearing a white silk t-shirt. Right. So Craig's out, Craig's out at the county fair with your white silk shirt with your best hat on. Yeah. And, gotcha. And you're eating a chili dog and you get a little, on your shirt, you notice it. If it's Thassos or if it's a white
my desert camo, you don't notice it.
Exactly. So it's not, I don't think that Thassos is that much more delicate, let's say, or susceptible to staining. I mean, every marble has different porosities, as you know, but just overall, I just think that you see it, right? Like you see it more.
Anything. Yeah.
So a black car doesn't get more dirty than a gray car or light silver car, but you notice it more in a black car, right? When it gets dirty. So that's the reason that some people have been trying to come up with alternatives for Thassos. Now, the easy alternative is let's just make a ceramic tile that's white.
That's right. A plain white ceramic tile.
That's great. But there's a lot of things that ceramic tile doesn't have. It doesn't have that luminescence. I mean, you can get a shiny white tile, but there's some kind of depth to marble, to Thassos. Agreed. And you're like looking into it slightly. So, so somebody said, let's do glass. And there was a product out there years ago. I think it's still out there called Glassos. It's a brand name. Mm-hmm. And Glassos is just like a chunk of all white glass. So it looks nice, but I personally have seen it fracture easy because the whole thing is glass and you cut a little notch out in a corner and then something moves. Next thing you have a crack going across it. So it was a good idea, but and I think it's still out there, but I know there's been a lot of fails from what I've seen.
Gotcha.
So somebody came up with another idea. Let's use glass, but let's fuse it to porcelain. And that process is called sintered glass. And so they're able to make a pure white tile, and we say tile loosely, right? It's a square top product or a rectangle product, and it's made out of porcelain, and the surface of it is glass, and it's fused together, so you get the beauty of glass, the luminescence of glass, the depth, because you are looking into it. There's slight little crystals, really nice stuff, and that's. So therefore, Nanoglass was born, and that's what we offer at Tile Bar in many, many sizes. Do we have a video on that?
Yeah, we do. How about I show it?
Cool.
I think I have to hit play. Bam. I've seen a lot of this product. I actually did some tests on it not too long ago. John, you spilt your wine.
Yeah. These photos are done in the Tile Bar studio. Those amazing pictures by our team.
One of the things I've noticed, and I don't notice this as much with Thassos, it seems like in the Nanoglass, the edges can have a little bit of a darker hue to them. Is that from the cutting? Or what's your thoughts on that? Have you noticed that?
I haven't noticed that. No. It's pure white all the way to the edge. I think it's just a shadow from the grout, maybe.
Possibly, because the top quarter of it is grout.
Yes, there's a great picture right there. You can see the construction, right?
Yeah.
So the bottom is porcelain, so it makes it easier to cut. It makes it easier to transport. Mm-hmm. It cuts the cost down because it's not all glass. But if it was all glass that thick, it has its drawbacks. Also, because of the structure is porcelain, we stock Tile Bar stocks it in 2-inch by 2-inch and 6 by 12 and 12 by 12, but also 12 by 24, 24 by 24, 8 by 16 or 6 by 18, and 32 by 32s. And I probably missed the size of 2. So if that was solid glass, you couldn't have, but also suitable for floors.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Some slip resistance problems, maybe, but I don't know what the DCOF is.
Well, slip resistance, but it's the same as marble, right? The polish on it is, so we all have heard of the Richard. Is it the same
as marble or the same as glass?
I think they're all very similar. If you take a piece of, just plate glass or marble or nanoglass, I think the dynamic coefficient of friction are probably really similar. So is it slippery when wet? Yes. Is it slippery when dry with your socks on? Yes. Do you want like a really cool, cool master bathroom that's solid white, wall and floor shiny? I mean, look, they sell white carpet, don't they?
They do sell white carpet.
So not everybody wants to be like 1,000% practical, but it's beautiful. It's a durable material. If you're not walking in your bathroom with work boots with sand on your feet, it's fine. And you also need to know, you have to decide where you're putting it and why. Are you going to put this in your kid's bathroom? Your kids are just born and you're going to put that in the kid's floor? No.
It doesn't go in the mudroom.
Well, the mudroom you're going to put in your master bath. And to me, even though the dynamic coefficient of friction is probably different from another marble or different from another product, they're all kind of slippery when wet. So you put a bath mat down. Like if you want it, if you want something that's completely slip proof, just get some cinder block and put it on the floor. Right. And
Bon Jovi said it best. Slippery when wet.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Let's see. We got a couple of comments. Joshua says, nanoglass all day. So that's his. And he asked the question, is that stain resistant or stain proof? I will answer that. I don't know anything about it more than anything. Nothing is stain proof.
Right.
If you think it's stain proof, let me send you my 17-year-old who will fix it. Joshua, thanks for the question.
We saw that picture of the red wine being poured over the nanoglass. If that was Thassos, we would be cringing like, ooh, don't do that. Yeah. So I think nanoglass is virtually stain resistant. It really, I honestly haven't seen it stain. I have seen it in a heavy trafficked area get like super fine scratches, right? Not like not a gouge, but do you ever see when someone used to?
It's like you polished your car with a rag that had a little bit of dirt on it.
It's exactly what
the fine swirl marks.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Well, that's why we do this shows, because we're the same person.
You stole my fire.
Yeah, I would say, glass is pretty impervious, and impervious. If nothing can penetrate it, then in theory it's stain proof. But there's so many different chemicals. Like you said, you got a little bit of sand on your shoe, and it puts that etch in it. Well, it may not stain the glass, but that etch is going to hold dirt and grime and whatever. Right. And that's what happens. So nothing is stain proof.
I could say if you go, the test here is, if you go out to the Hamptons on Long Island, you'll see nanoglass used in the $10 million homes. It's widely accepted in the high end market as a great, they don't even specifically say it's an alternative to Thassos, but that's really what it is.
Well, I think, 5-10 years ago, everybody wanted that pure white. Right. They wanted that pure white, everything, walls, floors, everything was just, it looks sterile. And I think I'm not a design person, as I've said before. I can't match my clothes, but I think that is kind of going away a little bit. But there still is obviously a place for it, and people want that pure looking floor.
Well, you know, it's very popular. It'll always be popular. Colors in general have warmed up, but the whites are strong. You're not going to a house in the Hamptons getting Roman travertine tumbled marble floors. It's just not happening.
Right.
It's just that was 1981. So
I wish I lived in the Hamptons with you. Do you have an extra room I can borrow?
Yeah. Did you see? I think I sent you some rental rates of some.
That's nuts.
Okay, we have this house in the Hamptons. It's only $500,000, and Craig's like, "Okay, $500,000, not bad for the season."
That's right. I'm gonna throw our banner up here because we're getting ready for our Q&A time, and we got several people watching online. Josh and Dan and Rick, help us answer this question. My goal is to try to throw something at John that hopefully will stump him. And Joshua's laughing at you and your Hamptons comment. But the Thassos, I'm still not a fan of either, but that doesn't matter because nobody's building a house for me. I mean, if you do build a house for me and you put Thassos in it or Nanoglass, I'll still take it. And so I'm not going to turn down anything. I'm not stupid, but I'm not putting that in my bathroom.
Well, let's look at the cost also. If you do want a white bathroom or a white living room floor, white Thassos, depending on the grade that you get, what selection you get, it's $20 to $40, let's say, a square foot for a tile. It also costs more to install marble because marble just costs more to install than tile, right? And then you should seal the marble. So any marble, white Thassos or travertine or Carrara, you should seal it. So you have pretty expensive raw material costs. You have labor costs. You have sealing costs, and then you have a recurring maintenance cost because you should reseal it every year or so, right? So, but people are using it. We sell Thassos every day. Nanoglass is about half at minimum. It's $10 to $15 a square foot, depending on the size.
Okay.
The labor should be the same as a regular porcelain. I mean, if I was an installer, I would charge a little more because it's a little thicker. It's 12.6 millimeters instead of like 10 millimeters. So it's a little thicker than a standard tile. You do have porcelain with glass on top. So, when you cut it, you can have some more fails here and there. So I would probably charge a little more if I was installing it, but you have zero maintenance. You don't seal it and you don't maintain it except just regular routine cleaning. So I would say I would vote for the Nanoglass. I really think it's nice. You know what my biggest issue with Thassos is even if I had the budget to use it, in 8 years from now, is it going to look as pure white as I want it to be? Because the goal is you're buying a pure white material. And you're not buying a white marble with gray veins. You're buying a white marble that's hand selected to not have any blemishes in it. And in 2 years from now, or 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is it going to look just as white? And that's where, and for that reason, I'm out.
Well, there you go.
But
you'll sell it to anybody.
Well, you know what? Yes, as long as they know I manage their expectations. Whatever I just talked about, I let them know.
Absolutely.
And I have designers coming in and it's just like, John, this is a $5 million home or $20 million home, and we're not doing anything that's not 100% marble or natural, all natural. So I call it the snob factor, and that's fine. Are they going to get a pleather couch or a leather couch?
They're getting the leather couch.
So even though you could say, hey, the pleather is a little more durable. So the good thing is in our industry, when you're dealing with a reputable company, be it Tile Bar or any other company, the representative for the product, the representative for the company should just tell it like it is. Look, these are the pluses, these are the negatives, these are the pros, these are the cons, these are the prices, and let them make the decision. And it's not for us to make that for them, as long as you tell them what's up.
That's right. Clear expectations, as we say at our house. Clear expectations. Well, John, as we are headed to the end of this happy hour, I got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Have I ever? Do we do the question thing? I had a bumper for that. Oh yeah, I want to do the bumper.
All right, go for it.
Hey,
love it.
I love it. All right, so I liked it so much I hit it twice. That was
So nice. You had to do it twice.
All right, so hot off the press.
All right, go for it.
This is a printed out email from an actual client. It said, "Hey Craig, can we offer 2 cm pavers for a commercial driveway?" So you got 2 cm, that's 2 centimeters if you're from North Carolina, and which is roughly about 3/4 of an inch thick. 7/8 probably closer. Can you use that for a commercial driveway? I stepped on my earphones. Okay, there we go.
That's a great question.
It's a great question. What do you think, John?
I think the answer is it depends.
Okay. What would you think the variables would be?
I think if you have the proper substrate designed for the weight, I think that would predicate more of the answer. Because if you have a substrate that can handle a truck, and if you install a 2 cm or a 20 millimeter or a 3/4 inch, all the same product that made out of porcelain that's fired at 2,000 degrees and use the right setting material and grout, I would say yes, you can do that. That's my final answer.
That is the correct answer. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
And actually, how many car dealerships out there do you know have regular 1 centimeter tile in them? Ton of them.
That's true.
Ton of them. And the whole key is the compressive strength. And this is very nerdy, but if you can read my thing behind me, it says I'm a tile nerd. The compressive strength of porcelain tile is extremely high. So as long as you said, the method and the materials used to bond that tile to a proper substrate that is engineered for the weight of the building or the truck or whatever, you're not going to crush either the setting materials or the porcelain, no matter if it's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 10 centimeters.
Look, I know when people do paving bricks, they're thick, right? They're 3 inches thick or whatever however thickness they are, but it's just freaking concrete cured out, cured. The compression strength of concrete is a fraction
absolutely
of a porcelain. I'd much rather have a 3/4 inch piece of porcelain than, 3-inch piece of brick, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, once again, John, I'm not keeping score, but I did not stump you today.
All right.
Stump you today.
Next is always next week. So folks, hey, this is our happy hour. We're glad that you're here. We're talking tile. If you're not interested in tile, you're probably not watching.
Having a lot of
you
fun.
stumbled across because you happen to be drunk and in the middle of the night and you stumbled across our YouTube.
Dan,
and cheers to you. Thanks for joining us. When you go to our YouTube channels, although this is broadcast on many different channels, but particularly YouTube, it would be super cool if you liked our page. I don't know what it's called. Little thumbs up. Now, is the little bell different than the thumbs up thing? Is it two different things?
The bell is great. The bell will let you know. It'll give you an alert when we post something or go live. So if you click that bell and you just can't get enough of John and I, as soon as we come on the air or release something, it'll show up in your phone. And let's be honest, you get all sorts of spam that is useless trying to sell you dumpster wheels. We're not doing that. We're in the tile industry. You're in the tile industry. Hit the bell. You want to hear what we have to say.
Dumpster wheel. I never heard of that.
There's a market for dumpster wheels.
Never heard of that term before.
I just made it up. But and
it shows.
It's cheeky, and everybody says it. Like, subscribe, and comment below.
No, but we really mean it, and we really mean that you will appreciate
it.
Clicking
Helps.
that little bell. It does.
It does help. It allows us to broaden our audience, and that way we can get more opinions on here. We had some great opinions tonight. I appreciate everybody who participated. Rick, our number one fan, Josh, Dan, Leanne. There was a couple others I don't remember, but thanks. And you can do that not live also. It's the same.
Exactly. Well, folks, this is our ending of our Tuesday happy hour. And another reason to have the little bell is, in the future, maybe we may change the time and date up, right? Or there's a holiday.
3 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's our 15th episode.
Thank you for reminding us. So this is John Tedisco. This is our happy hour. Craig, pleasure seeing you here Tuesday night. It's a beautiful summer evening in New York. Hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully the smog and smoke stays away. Hopefully they put those fires out. 400 fires. It's mind blowing, but we wish all those firefighters safety. And I personally would like to wish everybody here peace, health, and happiness.
And as always, let's just keep learning together and tile the world.